We can do this. So, thank you everybody. My name is Lisa Clark, and what we'd like to do in this brief session is to talk about the different types of apprenticeships that are available to you, and to give you some tips and advice on how to find apprenticeships. Also, as Saffron said, we have Chloe and Simon here with us today, and these are some of our apprentices that would love to share their story with you as well. So hopefully at the end, you will come and join us on the tables so that you can ask more questions of Chloe and Simon, and I'm sure that they'll be very honest and give you some very good advice if you are indeed considering an apprenticeship. So just to get started, what I'd like to do is just sort of describe the fact that there are lots of different opportunities in terms of different types of apprenticeships, but also levels, and I think some people have been confused with these in the past. So just really quickly to explain that apprenticeships span from level 2 right the way up to level 7, and of course, you know, depending on what your particular route is, there's lots of different opportunities in each of these different levels. So as you can see here, these are the different routes that are available. There are over 700 different types of apprenticeships available within these different routes. So hopefully there is something indeed for everybody. The first thing I really wanted to do, or the second thing I wanted to do, was to give you some tips in terms of where to get started. So first of all, this is a really fantastic resource, and it is the Institute of Apprenticeships and Technical Education website. So the first thing we would encourage you to do is to have a look around there. So you can use keywords to search, you can look at the different routes that we had on the previous page, and hopefully you can find some courses that are of interest to yourself. It's a really good place to start. So what are the different types of apprenticeship standards that are available for you to choose from? So I would say if you use this resource, don't stop there, don't just find the course, but actually if you click through, I'm not going to be able to do that today, but once you find a course of interest and you click through, you'll find out all sorts of information about what you'll be doing on the course, what sort of, what sort of employers are involved in the development of the standards. So it will give you clues as to which organisations you could contact, and of course, you can find a training provider from this website. So the types of organisations that are delivering these apprenticeships. So it's a really good, useful resource for you to help with your research. So for example, you know, iSales Academy, we deliver a range of apprenticeship standards, but clearly not all 700 of them. We specialise very much in sales type roles, digital and digital marketing. So, for example, our partner, West Arts College, who will be speaking after this session, they provide even more choices and more options. So there's lots of different organisations that you can go and speak to. So what I wanted to do here was just really high level, just go through some things that hopefully will get you thinking about what's important to you when you are considering an apprenticeship. So things like where you'd like to work. So do you want to work for a large company, a small company, a local company? Do you want to be in an office? Do you want to do a very specialist role, or do you want to work in a generalist environment? And my tips really here are, whatever you choose, it's really important that you're working on something that's going to help you move in the right direction and aid you on your journey to your longer term career goals. The second thing to add is really the importance of work experience. It really cannot be underestimated because it does more than one thing. So gaining work experience will help you develop your employability skills. It will help you set personal goals. So whether that's, you know, the entry criteria for an apprenticeship or a course is certain qualifications, and hopefully it will motivate you to continue to achieve at school or indeed at college. It will help you be ready for the workplace when you do enter it and you get a job. And also, you know, if you choose work experience in your chosen industry or role, it will help you really understand what it's like to work in that environment. And of course, that will help you either, you know, reinforce your decision that you're moving into the right industry or role, or indeed help you rethink that as an option for yourself. So You know, the first thing to say is if you're undecided, first of all, whatever you do, don't panic. There are lots of options, whether that's a college course, whether it's stay on at school, whether it's, you know, do an apprenticeship or indeed go to university. And my only advice really is just do your research, you know, speak to as many people as possible, you know, have a good look around company websites, the internet and so on. And once you have kind of shortlisted what your options are, then really focus your effort and your energy onto that chosen pathway, but look at all the different options that will help you achieve your longer term goals. So think about where the best place to start is. Of course, you can weave in and out of education and in and out of work, so you can return to education later should you need to. But think about where you're going to start and how that's going to help you on your journey. And the most important thing to add is whatever you choose, it's really important to be prepared to work hard, because that will lead to your success. So what I'd like to do now is to hand you over to the first apprentice, who is Simon. So Simon, over to you if you're ready. And by the way, if you want me to click onto the next slide, I can.
Okay, lovely. Please could you move? There you go. Lovely. Hi, everyone. As Lisa said, my name is Simon. I work for a marketing company at the same company that Chloe works for, actually, called Ryle Marketing. We're based in Chorleywood, near Rickmansworth, and I am doing a level 4 sales executive apprenticeship. And what I'm essentially going to quickly run through for the next couple of minutes is why I decided to choose an apprenticeship after getting 3 A stars in my A levels. Can I have the next slide, please? Could I have the next slide, please, Lisa? Thank you. Lovely. So just to recap my career path so far, I went to sixth form age 16. I took 3 A levels in history, business studies, and English literature. In year 12, I did a 2-day work experience at a local marketing company called Ryle Marketing. I then got 3 A stars in my A levels, went back to the company that I had done the work experience at and asked them if I could have a job there. They signed me up on the sales executive apprenticeship, and that's where I am today with iSales Academy. Next slide, please. So why I chose an apprenticeship? There were a few key reasons, nothing too revolutionary or groundbreaking, but just to kind of sum up where my thought process was at. It was a financial decision above all else. There's no student debt, there's no living and accommodation costs, because when you go to university, you're not just paying for the headquarters that you're living at, you're also paying for the food you're buying each day, for all the resources that you need to keep living, like toiletries and all that kind of stuff. So it's actually a lot more expensive than you first realize. I get paid every month, which means I can save up earlier for wherever I want. In my case, it's to move out into a flat, but for you, it may be a brand new car or something. Gives me real world experience, which is important if you want employers to consider you seriously in the future. And also, I've always wanted to work in marketing, and a lot of marketing companies are willing to hire without you having a degree. So that fit quite nicely for me as well. Furthermore, there's no time limit on when you can go to university. It doesn't have to be right now. It can be in a year, 2 years, 3 years. So that's a good thing as well. And also, I'm still able to visit all my mates at university, so I can still get that kind of uni nightlife without actually having to go there myself. Next slide, please. And just a couple of questions to ask yourself, really, that maybe you hadn't have considered. If you are thinking about taking an apprenticeship, but you're not sure whether it's the right way for you, do you want to go uni? Do you want to get an apprenticeship? Just think about these key questions, really. Does your dream job require a degree? Now, some people, of course, don't know what their dream job is, but if you do, then do some research into whether a degree is necessary for that. What is your home life like? A lot of people go to university just because they want to get away from a difficult home life. So if you do struggle at home, then maybe that might be a nice way to get some independence by going off to university. If you have a comfortable home life and you like being with your family, maybe an apprenticeship might be a better option. Will you regret not going to university right now? And those last 2 words are the really key ones. It's not a question of do you want to go to university? It's a question of, is this the exact moment that it needs to be? And you really need to think about that, because bear in mind that there's no expiry date on going to university. You can go whenever you want. Are there any companies near you with an apprenticeship quota? A lot of really large corporations have to hire a certain amount of apprenticeships each year. It's essentially in their shareholder agreement. So if you can do a bit of research and find out whether there are any large corporations that have to hire apprenticeships, that might be a good way for you to kind of worm your way into the company. What is your sporting situation? I know a couple of mates who decided not to go to university because they were getting paid to do sport for a particular team, and therefore it was actually going to lose them a lot of money by going off to university. So that's something you may consider as well. Can you visit all your mates at their universities? If so, that can get you the uni nightlife. And finally, do you want to study for another 3 years? Personally, after I'd done my A-levels, I was absolutely exhausted and I did not want to do any more studying whatsoever. So I dipped out and did an apprenticeship, and I am very, very happy that I did.
Okay, thank you very much, Simon. So Chloe, moving on quickly, it would be great if you could provide us with a quick overview of your story. And of course, we will be encouraging everybody to attend the tables, to attend the iSales tables to learn more from you.
Sure, thank you. So my career journey started when I too left sixth form, although I didn't get as great grades as Simon did, and I really wasn't sure what industry, what job or anything. I really was stuck. So I decided to do a level 3 in business administration and communication. Reason for that was that it was pretty broad. I felt like it gave me the options to explore a little bit more, to kind of get my first foot in the door, and then maybe give myself some time to discover what was next, what the next step was. So I joined RA Marketing, the company that Simon too works for, as an admin apprentice. And when I completed that a year later, I was given a full-time job as administrator, but I really didn't enjoy it. It wasn't for me. I found it a bit too mundane. And working in the marketing office, I got a bit of a taste for marketing and realised actually I'd much prefer to do that. So I spoke with my employers and then started on my journey in marketing. So really, I'm quite lucky that I kind of found my feet in that way. I could have had the apprenticeship at any company really, but it just so happened to be a marketing company and I found a passion. So quite lucky there. My career started to develop, and after about 3 or 4 years at RA Marketing, I was doing a lot more. I was account managing, handling all sorts of types of projects, and was actually covering all of the digital marketing for all of our clients. So I felt like I had achieved quite a lot, but I still wasn't where I wanted to be. And what I noticed was I took a step back and thought, okay, where am I lacking? What do I need? What's the next step in my career? And again, my first experience with the apprenticeship was amazing. So I thought, why not go back for another one? You can do as many apprenticeships as you want. So I took it up a level. I did a level 4, and this time I did it in sales executive. So it was a bit different, or very different from my first one. This was much more technical and focused on sales. So it gave me that experience and that confidence that I was lacking to talk with people. I got the chance to do many amazing networking events with Lisa and the team. And it really pushed me out my comfort zone and pushed me that step further into the career that I'm in now. So I graduated from iSales in September, and I am so pleased that I did it. I'm now digital marketing executive and account manager at RA Marketing still. I'm not sure what my next steps are, but I know that I always have the option to do a level 5, a level 6, a level 7. So apprenticeships aren't just your first stepping stone. They can really help you throughout your whole career, take you to the next step, the next level. And that's really what it did for me. I can't praise them enough. And if anybody has any questions about my experience on either courses or just general questions, then I'd be happy to talk with everyone. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you very much, Chloe. And as discussed, if you want to come and meet Chloe and Simon, they're going to be around for the next hour or so. So come and join us at the tables. So just to sort of wrap up, really, and these are some of the things, again, you can ask us in person. But another good resource is find an apprenticeship on gov.uk apprenticeship.gov.uk. So please go and have a look around there to see what's available. Other resources, there's loads of them out there today. We don't have enough time to go into them all, but you do need to be fairly proactive in terms of finding yourself the best opportunity. So websites, company websites, the hot portal, career fairs like this, obviously the opportunity to go and find out what real live opportunities and future opportunities there are. So speak to all the lovely employers that are on the tables today. In terms of apprenticeships, you know, maybe look at the top 100 apprenticeship employers. It's a published list. It will give you some clues as to which employers do apprenticeships really well. And again, come and speak to us if you'd like some more ideas about where else to look and what else you can do. So in summary, you know, one of the things that you can talk to us on our table about is making sure that, you know, regardless what you choose, that you do work to stand out from the crowd. So, you know, I can't underestimate or emphasize enough the importance of work experience, the application process, interviewing techniques, and completing your research, of course. So what we'd like you to do now is to come and join us at our tables. We do have 2 tables. You will find Chloe and Jane on one of our tables. If you are thinking about an apprenticeship, here's some of the sort of questions I would expect you to ask. And then on the second table, you know, you can speak to Simon, you can speak to Kate around, you know, how do you go about finding and securing an apprenticeship? And here's some of the sort of classic questions, again, that you might want to ask us. But feel free to come and ask us any questions at all that you have. So that's the end of our presentation. So as I said, come and find us and ask us as many questions as you'd like. Thank you.
That's brilliant, Lisa. Thank you so much. Can't say enough good stuff about apprenticeships. Go and see those guys at their table. So we're going to take a very short break, just for 2 minutes. And when we come back, we're going to hear from West Herts College also about apprenticeships. So we're just going to break for a couple of minutes. Well, I'll see you in 2.